Oh my god. I really hope I'm on time. I hope this is working. I'm so sorry. I literally was at the studio. I was trying to finish up editing a YouTube video, which should go up next Saturday or Friday if you're a Patreon. Uh, it was a singing cover of The Night We Met by, I don't know how to say his name, Lord Huron? I don't know. Could be wrong. And just straight off the bat, I've got some tour planning next week, picking the band, all that fun stuff. So don't forget to buy tickets to my tour. They're on my website, or you can literally just Google Janet Devlin tour tickets. You'll find them. Yeah, so there's that. And then make sure you like my songs on Spotify and add them to your playlist because the algorithm gods appreciate that. So, I think we're good. I think I've remembered everything. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. My hair is white. Specifically on the top. Like, I'm so white haired that it doesn't even pick it up on camera. And that's because my blonde roots were coming through. And if you bleach blonde hair, then yeah. That's what happens. There's still some pastely pink bits in this, so we'll see how that looks. It's basically because I wanted a base color. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it's gone now. I wanted a base color because I'm gonna add the rose pink to have pink hair for a little bit. And once that pink is in, I'll add some orange in as well. So put it on live chat before you forget. Yes. Jess. Jedge. Thank you. I love and appreciate you. I dyed my hair for you. So yeah, I cannot wait for all of the comments asking me why I dyed my natural ginger hair. Great. Love life. Hello from Oma. Are you serial? Are you watching from Oma? Love that. Love that. Yeah, so we got tour planning next week, which is really fun. Like actually sitting down and looking at like what band setup will carry the sound the best to do on the road. Looking at support acts, looking at all of those things. Like I definitely want to get a support act that you guys like and that I know you guys will like and that I like and you know that I can sit on a tour bus with, you know? Daenerys Targaryen. That's too nice. I do not look like that, but I appreciate the comments. Darcy, hi. Camera can't focus on your top. Oh, on my face or just me? Because I don't mind if it doesn't focus on the top. It's just a fluffy top. Hello, everyone. Hi, Zalding. Oh, you want candle LED? Oh yeah, I really liked that last time, didn't I? And I told you guys to remind me. Oh yeah, it's my favorite. A lot has happened. If you follow me on Patreon, you know that I went to Cornwall. Also, you'd know that if you follow my Instagram. But I went to Cornwall for a few days, and that was really nice. And I loved it, and it was just so fun to be in nature. Also, thank you for appreciating my top, Darcy. I like this fluffy top. Yeah, I love being outside. The weather was stunning. Did it take 7 hours to get there? Yeah. Was that hell on earth? Yeah. But it was okay. It was okay. The guy who ran the Airbnb was also really sweet. Just a really nice man. And he literally took us through the history of the place we were staying in and showed us our rooms and all that fun stuff. So it was very cute and very sweet. I'm sorry that your sister cannot make the meet and greet, but remind me and I will post. I will send a video. We can send a video from the tour. That'd be fun. You look so happy in the pictures that you posted. I was really happy. I was out in nature by the sea, and it was very nice because I was able to. I was hiking a lot. I hiked all day for the 2 days I was there for 3 nights, but like the 2 main days I did a lot of hiking, and so it was a mixture of hiking and hill running, which sounds mental, but trust me, these stairs that are like built into the hills are actually harder to walk up on. Like, I was walking up them originally and I was like, oh my god, am I this out of shape? Or why are my calves on fire? Why are my calves on fire? And I was dying. And I then, from that point on, decided to sprint up the hills. And then it was so much easier. Sprint up the hard bit, get it over and done with, and then walk the nice, peaceful coast. And it was great. Because it meant that I got all sweaty, I got all gross, I got my heart rate up, I felt tired, so I slept. It's not a coat, it's a cardigan. It's a cardigan. Not a coat. Yes, a video. She'll love that. Amazing. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm happy on tour. If you come see me on tour and you want me to film a video for like your mum or something, like absolutely. Like, why not? I love those. They're fun. Well done, Draco. Well done. Yeah, it's a look. I don't know what look it's going for. So Cornwall's great. Ate lots of fish and chips, as you can imagine. What else? Just lots of nature. Had to pee in the woods. You know, it's great. I had to pee in the woods. Nothing makes you feel like you're in nature like peeing in a bush. I grew up in the countryside, so it's fine. Sometimes I just... Yeah. I remember what it's like to be in nature all the time. Anywho, I ate lots of pastries as well, which was awesome. They had these things called snails, which are basically cinnamon buns. So I was living my best life. I even went for a swim in the ocean. Check that out. Hell yeah. Did it suck when I went in? Yeah, it absolutely did. And then I forgot about my bad circulation. So I had a great time. Spent about like 45 minutes in the ocean. Got out and was like, I cannot feel my hands. And the person I was with was like, we should jog home so you can have a hot shower. I was like, yes, I would like to feel my hands. So that was great. It was just so fun. And then on the last night, my tooth decided to cause all hell on earth. And it had kind of, it just would kind of just be a wee bit annoying, and then it would be manageable, and then just a bit of a throb. And I can handle a bit of a throbbing pain. You know, that's fine. I don't need to take painkillers for throbby pain. It just got worse though. So on the last night, I couldn't sleep. My cheek was on fire. Not fire, it was just like sore. It was just really sore. I was not having a good time. I tried painkillers, weren't working. I tried everything, wasn't working. And I was just like, I'm so fed up, because if you follow me, you know that I already had an issue with this tooth and blah, blah, blah. They took the nerve out. So I was so confused as to how my tooth was sore when the nerve was taken out. I was so baffled. So anyway, I get home. I suffer for another 3 days. Because I'm like, no, it's fine. It was fine. I'm booked in for the 29th. I can make it to the 29th. She, in fact, did not make it to the 29th. My rule is like, when I hit day 3, I'm like, no, this is too much time in the old bed. Can't have that. Don't want that anymore. So I went to see the dentist. They booked me in. They were so nice. They literally only made me wait another day, and then they had me in for an emergency appointment, thank God. But then it turned out that the place that was supposed to sedate me and take my tooth out actually declined the case. They said it was they said it was too complicated and they didn't want to do it. So that was swell. And then today I got a phone call from another place that I was referred to, and they're like, hey, we don't do sedation. And I was like, that's why they referred me to you, though, because I'm supposed to get sedated, because I'm a baby and no one wants to work on my mouth because I'm a baby. And she was like, well, I can refer you to this place. And I was like, cool. Do they do sedation? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Refer me. And she's like, they'll give you a call soon. So I'm like, nice. So basically what had happened was it got infected. So yeah, it got infected, and that's why I was in a lot of pain, because like it was the gums. It's not the nerve of the tooth, the gums infected, and it annoys my teeth and blah blah blah. So actually, from taking the antibiotic within like the first 2 pills of that, the first like 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever it was, I felt a million times better. I was like, wait, I can manage this level of pain. It's fine. It's just a little throbby throb. Like, nice. I can cope with that. And also the dentist was like, obviously the dentist I go to doesn't want to have to take my tooth out, because she's like, I get that it's stressful. It's going to stress me, because she won't want to speak to her nurse lady saying all the things that she wants to say, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, fine. But she's like, we will have to take it out. Well, no, she's like, we can take it out, basically. If you get another bout of this, basically, she's like, then come back and we will take that tooth out. So basically, it's just like, they'll do it. I'll just have to take it. It's fine. So I'm just doing that. Look at you going to the dentist and me finally going to a doctor's appointment. Yay! How was the doctor's appointment? If anyone doesn't know, Jess in the chat, we have been battling it out to actually go do the things that we are supposed to do. I basically said I would go to the dentist if she went to the doctor, and we're both doing those things. Look at us adulting, doing our lives. I managed to sleep last night and it felt amazing. Oh my god. 4 nights without sleep? No, 4 or 5 nights without sleep. Wanted to die. Wanted to die. And then also I have my period, because I have stress-induced periods. So, so basically I'm waiting to find out when they can take my tooth out. I'm taking the antibiotics, which seems to be fine. They seem to be working, and I'm not in pain. But if it flares up, I go get it out. This is where we are. What mascara you use? I love your eyelashes. Thank you. It's what is it called? I don't remember. It's not the best mascara, but it's. I only use a travel size one. Let me just whip it out here in my little makeup bag. Here. Right. I'm using the travel size one. I will buy a new one, trust me. Oh, it's the Benefit. They're real. Ta-da. 10 out of 10 recommend. Kind of. It's a bit gloppy, but eh. But your life is ultimately worth more. Wait, what's going on with my life? I do still listen to General Banter, yeah. I was literally listening to it today when I was doing my makeup. I'm not taking painkillers right now, because I'm taking the antibiotics and they're working, so I don't understand what the issue is. Also, everything is totally controlled by professionals, so I'm just doing what the professionals are telling me today. You looks like Russian. Maybe you travel with tour? I definitely don't look Russian, but I appreciate it, because Russian women, amazing. Brian, thank you for the little note. I appreciate it. It's not notes here. I don't know what they're called here. Super chat. Asson. Hell yeah. Oh, what other updates do I have? It seems like this week has just been one of them weeks, my dates, you know? Yeah, I can't even answer it. I was talking to my psychiatrist today. We had a scheduled in call, but then I had to cancel that call because did you see the episode when he was talking about you listen? It's a while ago, like ages ago. Yeah, ages and ages ago. I think it was like 2 summers ago. Oh my god, it might have been longer. It was like 4. Was that 4 years ago? No, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I think it was. Tony, wait, are they doing nothing about it? Dental problems do not heal themselves. What kind of medieval plague? Oh, so it's the gum is infected, but it's currently fine. With the antibiotics, which should remove the infection. But if it happens again, then they're going to emergency take it out. But they don't want to emergency take it out because they want to wait like the 4 weeks or whatever so I can get sedated, because apparently it's in my notes that I have dental trauma. So they're like, we don't want to do it because you're going to be a big old baby, but if it happens again, we will take it out, but we want you to be sedated. So hello. So they are doing something about it. They're just keeping an eye on it so that I can hopefully make it to getting the sedation. But if I can't make it that long, then they'll just take it out ASAP. Right, so I spoke to my psychiatrist finally today about lots of stuff, just a general catch up after my BPD and bipolar diagnosis. And I was mentioning about, he was asking me about the medication I was on, and I was like, well, it literally just ran out, hence why I wanted to have another call as well. Mainly, he needed to have a call to check up on me after the diagnosis, and I needed a call so that I could get new medication. Well, not new medication, a renew. And then he started asking me questions about my actual medication that I was on, which was the Prozac, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't really seem to be good. Doesn't really seem to be at all good. Because it's not that I had an episode. I didn't do anything stupid. Hulk, thank you so much. It's not that I did anything stupid. I just had a really bad time for like the past week, and obviously that can be down to like the tooth and the not sleeping, because not sleeping is a form of torture, and I'm fully aware of that. But that did not help my mental state. Yeah, anyway, so I got distracted by the chat. That's why I don't always read the chat, because I literally go, whee! Yeah, so we discussed my options with medication, and he doesn't want to up the Prozac dosage, because upping my Prozac dosage could put me at risk of a manic episode with my bipolar. I'm exhausted by my own mental health. It's so tiring. I don't like it. Anyway, so he's like, don't want to put you up on the Prozac, and from what you're describing, the Prozac isn't even working. And I'm like, no, it's not. So that plus a few other things that are going on in my personal life. Surprising. I have a little bit of a personal life that I don't share online. But yeah, a few things going on there, or like things that are going to happen in my future things that are setting me off now because I know they're going to happen in the future. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not explaining it in too much depth, but basically, I am now having to go on mild antipsychotics, mild ones, not the ones that make you crave the sugar, the other one. Whatever the other one is, he thinks that's a really good idea. We discussed the pros, we discussed the cons. I'm currently on way more cons with my Prozac than I will be on this mild antipsychotic. Only downside with going on the antipsychotic feckin' medication is the fact that I have to go to more psychiatry appointments, which if you have ever had a psychiatrist, you know that shit is dear. I hate it. He's great. I love him. But is he expensive? Yes. I hate my life. Anyway, I have to go to him because I know that I want to get on the right medication to make the things better. And I hate it. But it has to be done. So, yeah. Anyway, he's lovely. He was very sweet. And Yeah, there's another medication that he wants to put me on, and I can't remember what it is. It goes hand in hand with that antipsychotic, but it does something. It's the one that's not supposed to make you tired. So that's cool. Because the one that I always didn't want to ever be put on is the one he's not putting me on. Because I was like, I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be exhausted. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. So there's like, whatever this one he was talking to me about, the, yeah, the cons are not as bad as the cons on the Prozac. So I'm gonna try it, see how it goes. If it sucks, it sucks, but we tried it. It's fine. At this point, we're okay. You know, can't get worse. So no, oh, they're free. Oh, Jesus, I would love that. But also, I don't want my psychiatry stuff on my notes because I just don't want it to come and bite me in the butt. Anyway, I am not married. This is my mother's ring. Beep, 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 beep. I don't know what I've missed. Prozac is dangerous. Everything is dangerous. Everything is dangerous. But yeah. Seems like if you're actually in need of a psychiatrist, it should be free. Yeah. I love the cons and pros. Sack. Nice. Always didn't recognize you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Is it boring? Yeah, absolutely. Will I probably make a YouTube video about my mental health bullcrap? Absolutely, because people get really angry when you talk about mental health stuff, which means that you should talk about it. Do you know what? That's my logic. When people get really, really annoyed at me talking about like my sexuality or my mental health or my addictions and issues, then I'm like, oh, this is why I still have to talk about it because you're angry and you shouldn't be because it's not your life. And why? That means we still have some talking to do so that it becomes a little bit less stigmatized. I just don't understand. So yeah, can't wait for all the comments to be like, oh my god, why are you trying to like, why do you want to have so many issues? Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. Not that all of the things I've been through could possibly be explained by the fact that I have mental illness. Oh, thank you so much. 100% agree. Let's talk about it. That's the thing. Like, I genuinely do wonder. Like, my psychiatrist is so nice though, because he was asking me about like how I've been coping, how I've been acting when my brain's been doing the thing. The thing. That's all I'm gonna say. You know? And I feel like I just said like, oh, sometimes I turn my phone off, paint my nails, and dye my hair so that I don't do the DOMs. And he's like, that's good. That's really good. And I'm like, thanks so much. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. Just having an adult be like, that's a really good idea. I'm like, thank you. Because I feel like I'm babysitting myself and I'm very bored of it. And then I talked to a few other people with BPD and they were like, that's normal. Yeah, you have to babysit yourself. And I'm like, so other people. It also made me realize I don't have any individual thoughts. So that's cool. Yes, you are stealing my identity, which I have completely linked to being mentally ill. Olivia, I wrote a song inspired by something you said in one of your videos. Oh, that's so cool. What did I say? I say a lot of things that maybe should not make it into songs. I have to go in a few. Take care of yourself. Ping me later. We need to catch up. Oh, thank you, Tony. Yes, I will. I will. I will. Thanks for coming down. For some reason, the criminally insane get free mental treatment, but if you're not a danger to society, then you have to pay for it, yeah. Until you become a danger to society, you know, which is great. The doctor said to me about antipsychotic side effects, the cure is worse than the disease. They make you brain dead, shaking, dribbling mess. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration. Yes, obviously, no one wants to prescribe someone with antipsychotics, but you have to look at the amount prescribed, how they're prescribed, what type of antipsychotic is being prescribed, and the side effects of every different type of antipsychotic, because there's a lot of different types of antipsychotic. So it's like, that's like saying all antidepressants make you want to kill yourself. It's too much of a blanket statement to be true, because every person's body is different. Every person's body will react differently to certain medications. So one antidepressant might make me want to jump off a roof, but another will cure my issue, or like fix my issue, or whatever you want to say. There's no such thing as cures, there's no such thing as fixing it, but make it more manageable, whatever you want to say. Same with antipsychotics, is the same with any drug. One may work for you, one may not, but using blanketed terminology like this thing bad doesn't always make sense, because it's like that one might make someone a dribbling mess at 80 milligrams, but at 15 milligrams is a very manageable dosage, or whatever. So it's kind of, it's a hard one. My therapist congratulated me on my caffeine addiction, as it was less destructive outlet. Sean, what are you doing? Good therapist, though. Hey, dude, I don't want to sound like a therapist, but whatever works, it's not gonna hurt you. Also, with the condition that, you know, BPD is, a lot of people grow out of it by like 35, so it's only a temporary solution to a current issue. Home studio's coming along well. We ordered the Mac Mini. I ordered a screen. So we're getting there slowly but surely. Just gotta order some good speakers and a few other things. I don't know what the contraption's called, but the middle thing, I don't know what it is. There's a few things, but we're going. It's got to be right for you, like my ADHD meds. What is working for me might not work for someone else with ADHD. Exactly. It's just, it's the juggling game. Charlie, hello! How are you doing? I hope you have an amazing weekend. Sorry I can't stick around. You're not missing anything anyway. I hope you're well. Sending lots of love and hugs. Yuck, Mac. I know everyone has Mac, but I'm used to it. It's the most efficient thing for me. It's like medication, my guy. It works for me, it doesn't work for everyone. The hair has been tamed, I know. It's because every time I get it done, I would just rather be put in braids, and then I just, like, wash it myself, you know. La 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 la. I mean, my goal is to be pill-free someday, but if being on pills makes me not want to do the dye, I'll be on the pills. I don't feel like there should be such a negative outlook that you should want to be pill-free. It's like, yeah, that's in an ideal world. I would also like to be mental illness-free. Again, ideal world. I can't guarantee that in 10 years' time I'm just going to be free from all of my mental illnesses. Like, that's like saying to someone with chronic pain, the goal is to be off painkillers. It's like, yeah, absolutely. But it's what is working here? Like, do you have to take something that can make it manageable, or nah? You know, I can't just be one of those people that's like, oh, the goal is to be pill free. Obviously, that would be amazing. That would be my goal. That would be great. But I also have to be reasonable with myself so that I don't do the silly and I stay as a human people existing on the earthly planes. And I don't do the dumb. So if sometimes being on some medication means that I don't do the die, then that's fine. And that is a small price to pay for the not doing that. So I've been pill free for a long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. Honestly, if something just makes me not do dumb stuff as often, that'd be swell. You know, that would also be fun. I would like to not cry for 4 hours straight over nothing. Why don't we just perform a lobotomy on me while we're here? That's fine. Minefield is some spot. That's where my auntie's from. My dad actually grew up in Minefield as well. That's where he did the growing. Psych pills or training wheels. I feel like we're never going to see eye to eye on this, as far as some people have to be on medication forever because their symptoms are not manageable. My goal is to someday not have to take the pills. But what I'm saying is, if I am one of those people whose symptoms don't become manageable without medication, I will just stay on the medication because I don't want to do the die. You know? Like, I like living. So if I have to take the pills, I will take the pills over, you know? But I just don't think we're going to agree on that point. Are you staying super blonde, or is this transitional? It's transitional. Yeah. But I wanted the base to be, and it will probably get whiter over the next couple of months. So we shall see. Yes, some people are really messed up. You aren't. Take it up with my psychiatrist, my guy, because I don't post my mental illnesses online. I don't like show people when I'm having an episode. Obviously. It just sounds really dismissive when you say that. Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Me going to the doctors when I was 14 saying I want to D-word. Ah, that's not okay. It's not okay. I hope you're okay now. If not, beach slide in my dums. Please. Please. Don't make me drive to your house to punch hug you. Let's just police other people's mental health. Yeah, it always works well. Always works well. Haha, so I am pill free. Avoid seeing unicorns when you drive. I'll bear that in mind. Fucking you. I'm so baffled. You make me think of Van Gogh. He's seen as one of the greatest artists in history and also had terrible mental health issues. Thank you. That's a massive compliment. I hope I don't cop my ear off, though. That'd be great. I like my ears. Although I've heard some really fun conspiracy theories about Van Gogh. 10 out of 10 recommend looking those up. If a stranger handed me a book of my life, would I keep reading it? Yeah. I'm so nosy. I want to know what happens. You know? Absolutely. Nate, I'm gonna have to put you on the quiet zone for a little bit because you're raising my blood pressure. And that's what happens. Only for a little bit. You're only on timeout for a little bit. You look very different now. Yes. I do. I dyed my hair this morning. I bleached it. I didn't dye it before people start screaming the T word at me. Use toner! I know. I'm going to. Don't worry. Oh, if somebody gave me the book of my life and was just like, hey, you can read this book and you know how it ends, I'd be like, yeah. It's the naughty step. And it's not necessarily that they're doing anything wrong. It's just like, Hi, I'm Janet. I like to protect myself. So sometimes I put people in the quiet zone because it's not helping me. And I need to help myself first because this is my happy place and I control the happy place. And if something's not making me happy, it has to leave the happy place for a little bit. And then you can come back. So, not personal. It's not a personal thing. It's me protecting me. So my hair is gonna be this white basey thing, and I'm just gonna add the pinks or peaches, because I've got filming to do soon, and I need the continuity. So I've got a photo shoot coming up. My hair will be peachy pink, maybe pink. I don't know. I think I'm settling on the peachy pink, and yeah. And whatever hair my is for this photo shoot in July is the hair I have to stay with. Because it's the press shots, it's the everything shots, and I have to stick with it. So you're in control. No, I'm scared. Yeah, it's a terrifying concept, right? Jack Wheeler, hi Jack. Thank you. And part of me feels like putting Jess in timeout for absolutely no reason. For no reason whatsoever. Just because I have power and I'm power hungry. Jess, I won't because I love you. And you're great. But just know that I want to. Thanks. Thanks. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. I will do the Van Gogh thing, but remember Da Vinci was also seen as crazy. Smart people are often seen or mad or crazy. I'm not that smart, or I'm no Van Gogh, but I'm a little bit mental. This is why you shouldn't be in charge. I know. I have too much power. I think all artists have some kind of mental, emotional. Every person I know is very creative struggles with something. Maybe the price of being great. It's very interesting actually. They are doing research on it apparently, but when I went to rehab, they gave me a pamphlet specifically for musicians in recovery, musicians and artists in recovery, because there's a real correlation. Like, obviously science hasn't ignored the fact that creative people are way more likely to suffer with mental illness. So they have been looking into it, but the statistics are shocking and scary. And I remember reading it being like, huh? Whoa. The amount of artists, musicians, writers, whatever, anything in the creative world that not only either do the die or just become addicted to substances or self-abuse in whatever realm that is, be it substances or bad relationships, whatever it is, artists in the broad sense, creative people, tend to fall victim to those kinds of things. And they are looking into why, but whether the why is not important. It's just it's a very big issue, because a lot of people obviously see, I think there's like, it's kind of like nature nurture, because people always think that it's the industry that messes you up. And I find it a really fun concept to approach it more so from the angle of, if you're really messed up, wouldn't you naturally gravitate to an industry like music or media or film or whatever, because of the unstable nature of that job, because crazy people tend to crave crazy and instability, because it's kind of, if you're unstable, you kind of sometimes want the outside to reflect the inside, so you go for a unstable environment, something that like matches your own mentality at the time. So I like to, because it's definitely something that really bothers me when people say, oh, the industry made you this way. I'm like, no, because I was like that before the industry. Like, I documented it in my book. But no, definitely, I was a broken person before I went and did media. So I think it's much more intriguing to think of people like little mentally ill moths drawn to this flame that they're like, I like the type of person that is attracted to that life, because I talk to my more sane friends who have a nice job, a nice family, a nice life, and they're like, I could never do it. And I'm like, could never or would never want to. And they're like, it's just not for me. And I'm like, let's dissect that. I genuinely want to know. So I do think that it's the existence of art or media is so unstable that it suits the unstable mind. And I think all of it is obviously about creating this balance between um, managing your own instability, enjoying yourself for who you are, and doing the exact same with the industry that you're in, and embracing the craziness of it, but also balancing and how you can make that work for you as a person. So essentially trying to create as much stability as possible for you and your unstable self in a very unstable industry. However that may be. Be your stability, going to therapy once a week, and at the same time every single time. Have certain corner parts of your weeks or months that are stable, that are regular, because crazy people, I use that colloquially, by the way, not actually crazy, but if you're that way inclined, some form of routine wherever you can grasp at straws with said routine, very important. Very, very important, and I speak only from my own experience. Okay? 10 out of 10 recommend. But I grew up with a mother who said everybody, when they hit their teenage years, should have a therapist. So I'm very used to the concept of therapy. I understand that not everyone is. But do I think that people who are more stable than I should go to therapy? Yeah, everyone should go to therapy, in my humble opinion. Just because I think it's important to have someone in your life that's not a part of your life, has no play in your life, has nothing to gain from your life. I think it's important to have someone like that you can go talk to and tell them the stuff that's going on in your life, so that you can kind of get some things off your chest, get somebody else's perspective, and just vent. I think it's really useful. So whether you are ill or not, I think a therapist is very beneficial for most people, and I think it's a good way to. Obviously, you don't have to do it every week if you're not like mentally ill. You can go bi-weekly, once a month, but I feel like it's a very useful thing, and I don't think people need to look at it as something that's, I go there when I'm broken. No, it's just good to have somebody understand your life, how you work, your ups, your downs, your faults, your flaws, and just help you navigate the tricky waters that are life sometimes. And having a mother who was very open to the concept of therapy has allowed me, as someone who does have, like, my brothers, fine. They are living their best lives. They don't have therapists and all this kind of stuff. But my mom was very open to the notion that we had. Like, I think one of my brothers had a therapist at one point in their life because they were going through something. And that's cool. Like, my mom provided them with that. And, I didn't go to therapy till it was too late, unfortunately, but it wasn't because my mom made me not want to go. My mom was obviously very open about the whole thing, and she would have taken me if I needed it. But I had a therapist through the school, blah, 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 all of this nonsense. But I just think it's important. Like, I just think people could benefit, and they probably just think that it's a bad thing. The song was based on I've Never Cursed a Sunrise, like the one I didn't want to see. That line apparently had a lot of people. It sucks that you relate to that line, because it's very specific, but I'm glad you made art out of that line, and I would love to hear it whenever you have it ready. If you never want me to hear it, also chill. Just flattered that you used a little bit of inspiration from something that I did. That's amazing. So thank you so much for flattering my ego. It's very sweet. Oh, a psychiatrist. Your psychologist analyzed your sketches. Oh, that's intriguing. What did they say? Lots of women singers have talked about self harm. Beth Hart, Billie Eilish, Carice Eden. Beside you, of course. I think your view about music performers and mental illness is straight on. It is mostly opinionated, but I appreciate that. Therapists are great in terms of listening sometimes. I have to listen to sad, sorrowful things all day that I do not want to transfer to my loved ones. So therapy, non-judgmental listening. It's exactly it. It's just someone who listens free from judgment. And I think that's useful for everyone. Like the Honest Man song. Thank you! Almost everything in the album is, if you relate to this, please for the love of God get a therapist. Yes. I think that was mainly the book where it's like, it honestly should have came with a big warning that was like, warning, if you relate to any of the horrible topics in this book, please go get help. Please talk to someone. Yes, my soda stream ran out. Don't judge me. I just didn't know. I didn't want to order my soda stream gas and then be on a live stream and have that awkward conversation with the hourglass man asking for directions to the house. I know it's hard to find, okay? When I found out I was bipolar, the church wanted to cast the demons out of me. I literally got whacked with a Bible over the head. Eventually, I was like, yes, it's I. Well, of course, if you're being hit with a Bible, you'd be like, yeah, I'm free from the demons, my guy. Bye-bye. I'm gonna go not here. Dear God, I'm so sorry, dude. That sounds absolutely awful. Loving the hair, Janet. Thank you. Got my ticket for Bristol. Delivered the other day. Hell yeah. Sweet. You're going to Louisiana. That's going to be fun. It's going to be nice and intimate. I can't wait for that show. Hi, Demira. Nice to meet you too. Or listen to music. I find listening to music helps bring out emotions. Yeah, man. Pardon me. I tend to listen to music when I'm emotional, but then write music when I've overcome the emotions I was going through. Contrary to the popular belief that if you're an emotional person, when you're in the wrath of emotion, that's when it's best to write. I'm like, for why? For why would I do that? I'm a mess. I can't write. I'm feeling my feelings. So it takes me like 2 weeks post the feelings to be able to write about it because I've always said I'm on an emotional delay. So it takes me a long time to actually know how I was feeling about something and illness in it. But it's useful because it means that it's like I can just tap into that. Let me just pick a time in my life where I felt those feelings and write about it. You know? Beep, 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 beep. Janet, love song is brilliant. You did that by yourself in a bathroom. Yeah. I think it's like most things when you have very little that you can actually achieve, sometimes it's the best because you just try and make the most of what you have. Independent artists. You do have to be past the feeling in order to analyze and process it. Yeah, definitely. For me anyway, I can't write eloquently about anything I'm going through when I'm going through it. There must be a healing thing in music. I believe that there is. Janet, why are people lonely? Why are people lonely? I think there's obviously so many reasons why someone could be lonely. I think the modern crises of lonely is because of the isolating times that we're in. Like the government's obviously making people physically isolate, doesn't help. And people struggle with connection. I think that societally we are affected by the fact that everything is online, in the sense of people like myself share more freely online than they do in the real world. Um, or the opposite of that is that people express only the great online. So using, say, Instagram as a life highlight reel and showing no one the true ups and downs of their reality. And when you only see one side of someone, it's harder to talk about the bad stuff, I suppose. I don't know. I think people want to live up to their online persona expectations so much that people are really struggling to actually connect. But it's hard to expect people connect in a world where connection is easier to attain online. Uh, and we don't really have a society currently built around genuine human interactions. Do you know what I mean? Like, where, if you say, for example, don't drink and you live in a small town, where are you supposed to go to meet people? Where are you supposed to go to get connection with people? Very difficult. And I feel like that's why religion and things like that strive in small towns and small communities, because it's a way to be around people in a what could possibly be a very isolating life. And that's why things like religion do have their benefits. Like the benefits of communal worship is the fact that you are around people and in what should be a very supportive environment where people are trying to come together to celebrate something that should represent love. But now that, you know, God is dead, as in like no one's really going to church, no one is partaking communal worship. It is, we have to find places in a world to congregate with other people that aren't to do with destruction or getting drunk. And we don't really have a society built for that. So it's a very hard task to ask people to have a connection, to not be lonely in a world where we haven't built it. We haven't built a society to allow people to interact and connect, because just things like that don't really happen. A lot of people make friends nowadays at work, but I think things are changing now anyway because a lot of businesses are going online. And yeah, it's going to be even harder now moving forward to create connections. And I think that that's why I enjoyed the likes of CrossFit and stuff like that, because it was a group workout and you actually had to talk to people. Some people enjoy gym classes and that's fun. Some people go to book clubs and that's a cool one. Some people go to creative writing classes. Some people just like classes, and all of those things can be really useful. Just anything that means that you're around other people that you've never met before. Finding a mutual interest is definitely good, because then when you're with them, you already know what the mutual interest is, and you can ask them how long they've been into the mutual interest, and it allows you to establish a footing. Yeah, I honestly don't really know how else people can pursue a non-lonely life, because like I said, we've kind of built a society that doesn't support that. But honestly, I feel like that's why the world of podcasts thrives, because nothing makes you feel like you're a part of a conversation quite like listening to a podcast. Or Twitch, for example, where people play games or you're involved in a chat. Live streams, for example, it's the closest thing in the current world that we have where you feel like there's a connection, because people are connecting to a degree through the internet. Like, I'm the biggest voucher for that. Like, I've made so many friends online. I find a community online, all this kind of stuff, you know? So there is a benefit to online relationships, especially whenever they cross over to the real world and then they become a real life friendship. That you can't deny that the internet has helped, though hindered. It is what you make of it, you know? So, yeah. Very interesting question, and there's no answer for it. You can only speculate. Which is my favorite type of question. Stage at monthly gigs, for example. Yeah, we do have a stage at this month, like every month, and I'm very excited. Janet, why are people blonde? Genetic mutation. No, that's blue eyes. Blonde's not a genetic mutation. I don't know. Good question. Guys, I am gonna go because I have not had dinner. And don't feel hungry, but I know I won't remember to eat. So I'm gonna go get some food and eat that. Thank you so much. And yeah. So got a stage this month. Nice. I'm sorry, Jess, it's on a Wednesday because of reasons that are out of my control. Okay, when we move studios, it won't be on a Wednesday. I'm so sorry, I don't mean to do it. Yeah, we have a stage this month. Don't forget to get your tour tickets, please, pretty please. Oh my god, please. I put up a cover of Stand By Me when the night. That's on my Patreon, and only for my Patreon. Just like lots of other things on Patreon, is just for the Patreon. And if you're not on the Patreon, you're missing out. I suck at selling myself. Anyway, thank you so much. I shall see you next Friday. Hopefully before, obviously. That would be great. But that's not guaranteed. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some food, drink some water, stay hydrated. Call my mom. You know, the usual. Anyway, great. Have a good night.